guess sometimes life just gets real crazy, and it seems like we all get a little jaded, so maybe it's time to pack a bag.
Alright, just coming back to check on these guys. It's been a little over 24 hours since I placed them. I can't tell you how happy I am to actually see activity here right now, because when you catch a swarm, or even if you don't catch a swarm, even if you've split your own hives and you've had them forever, there is no guarantee that the bees won't just abscond. They will just leave. So yeah, it's been over 24 hours and there's a lot of activity right here, which is a really good sign. But hopefully they'll stay. Hopefully they're really gonna stay with me. I wasn't able to switch them into my hive box today because it was a high of 59 degrees and it was sprinkling and raining most of the day, and bees can't fly below 54 degrees. So it was just a little cold to be getting into their nest. I didn't want to mess with them and make them unhappy and make them abscond. But they're looking good. Lots of activity. Let's check on this feeder. They are all over that guy. Man, look at those pretty girls. Again, I'm just so relieved that they're still here. Keeping my fingers crossed that they will remain here after I switch them into the other box. Alright guys, welcome back. It has been 2 days since I put this hive in the field, and it's time for me to put them into my box. So I am in a bee suit today. I think in general I prefer not to wear this. I plan on just wearing... I just felt a sprinkle. I plan on just wearing a veil probably so they don't get in my face, but since I don't know where this swarm came from, I don't know how aggressive they are, since this is the first time I'm really getting in to their hive, I did decide to go ahead and wear my bee suit and use my smoker, which I lit up at the house. I guess I could have shown you guys how to light a smoker. There's gonna be a lot of bee videos, so there will be time for that. I am gonna try to beat this rain. Let's do it. Okay guys, something to keep in mind is just that every time you're gonna go into a hive, make sure that you have a goal and a reason for doing so. I love bees and I could just stare at them all day, but you have to consider that, like, you're a giant going into their hive. So don't mess with them more than you need to, and make sure that you have a goal. So my goal today is to switch them over there. They are still eating. Looks like that jar is empty. Empty frames of foundation. This is the new spot, guys. So they are sounding pretty calm. Let's hope it stays that way. Looks like this is the first frame that there's any activity on. Of bees on it, but there's no comb yet, so I'm gonna shake these bees off in the end and give this frame back to Darcy because they haven't started on this. This one, however, is much heavier. Oh yeah, they're packing up the they are packing the syrup that I'm feeding them into this. Oh my god, this is so cool. So because I put this new hive
in the spot that they're already oriented to. There are already bees inside the box, so they are going to accept this. They should accept this pretty easily. So their buzzing is getting a little louder. And I said in the last video that when they're not happy, they'll let you know and they get louder. So while there are a bunch of bees, not a bunch, but there are bees on these other frames. Like I said, haven't built any comb yet on these guys, so not going to use them. I grabbed a bee on accident. It stung me. Does not feel good. But ironically, I feel bad for the bee because I didn't mean to squish you. Sorry.
So those guys right there at the front that are sticking their butts up and flapping their wings real hard, they are fanning. They are pushing pheromones off into the air to let everybody else know that this is home and this is where they should be. There's a whole bunch of them doing it, so all of these guys in the box should follow suit. They should crawl up this and go on in. So I'm just gonna leave them alone for the next week, aside from feeding them, just to let them get situated. They've been messed with a lot in the last 3 days. They have been through an entire journey, so yeah, hopefully this works. I feel kind of bad for them, just a giant breaking into their home, but hopefully this is their permanent home now, so it's all good. Okay, everybody left the other box, so even though there's a lot of chaos and some agitation, they're accepting this and moving in. So that's excellent. Man, time on this homestead has been such a slow build up. So many months preparing for the things that we wanted to do, but not necessarily enough time to actually do them or enough manpower, or in the cases for my projects, it's just simply no one's fault. We just have to wait for nature. Essentially, we just have to wait for nature. But it's been such a slow build up, and it's crazy because now everything's just happening at once. Like, I knew that when spring got here, things were gonna get crazy, but now I am really seeing the reality of that situation. You know, I waited for 5 months for my shed, and it was delivered last Wednesday, finally. And so now I have that project, which I haven't even started on because I've been so busy with other things and getting our garden going and this other projects. So that's been here for a week now. And then exactly a week later, I get my bees, which I have been waiting for since September, so even longer. And it's just crazy. And they're gonna take some work and some
I mean, especially in the beginning, they take a lot of work. And so we just have been on this slow build, and now we have reached the top, and it is time to get everything started and really focus here. And it's exciting. Our garden is going now. We got a lot of plants in the ground. It's exciting, but it's also like kind of terrifying, because now prep time is over and it's time to get to work. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me on Maya's Misadventures. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so that you can be part of this journey. Thanks so much, and looking forward to seeing you next time.